Today, I'm going to break down for you in no uncertain terms how your mind works and how to really jump in to the systems of your mind and take control of it. Because your mind, the human mind, is absolutely beyond compare. It is the most powerful, amazing, and wonderful gift that you have outside of your life itself. The human mind is something that scientists find is one of the wonders of creation, whether they're looking at the deep of the sea or the depths of the starry sky. The human mind is something that ultimately they don't feel like they can totally get a complete grasp on. So when you look back into ancient civilizations, the Hindus and the Vedas believe that the human beings are just observing a fraction of reality. But the majority of reality exists beyond the physical realm. Likewise, in Jewish culture and in the Bible, it talks about man being placed on the earth, but there being a whole nother realm above man, which would be the spirit realm. And so man being placed on the earth was given by the spirit realm a position on the earth, a job. According to the Bible, man's job on the earth was to take care of the earth, the plant and animal life, and to actually care for this earth, kind of like a benevolent ruler. So think for a moment about yourself. You are a king on this earth. You are a queen on this earth, according to all ancient traditions and religions. This is not hard for us to grasp because we can see that we are not equal to the animals. And the animals are incredible. Some of them have abilities to fly, which we don't have. Some of them have abilities to live underwater, which we don't have. But when it comes to consciousness, when it comes to free will, when it comes to understanding, knowledge, we exist on a whole nother plane above all other creatures on this earth. So, knowing that we're special like that, what do we owe it to? Well, each of us have a very special gift, and it exists inside this skull. And some of us have bigger heads than other people. But either way, what you have inside is a brain that weighs about 3 pounds. The brain has about 100,000 miles of blood vessels running through it. That's enough. If you stretched out all the blood vessels in your brain, you could travel from one end of the United States all the way to the other 33 times. Your brain has 86 billion neurons in it that are all firing signals at lightning speed to one another. You're having 7,000 thoughts per day plus, and all of these thoughts in your brain are utilizing energy. And the amount of energy that your brain uses in a day is enough to power a light bulb. Your brain actually uses the majority of your body's water and energy. So what in the world is going on up there? Well, certainly you don't want all of the energy that's being used in your mind to go to waste. But what really is the mind? If you were to type it into Google, you get a Wikipedia entry that comes up and essentially says the mind is the faculties that control mental phenomena. So it's basically saying the mind controls mental phenomena. What is phenomena? Well, that in itself is an oxymoron because phenomena cannot be explained. That's the whole point. So essentially, looking up the human mind, you're faced with a definition of we don't know. It's phenomenal. That's all we know. It is just incredible. What is happening up there, scientists do not have an explanation for it, but whatever it is, it's phenomenal. Your brain is using up 20% of the total oxygen in the body. And unfortunately, 95% of human decisions are made in the subconscious mind. Now, why is that unfortunate? Well, your mind has two parts to it. This is very important to understand because you are not your mind. You are something separate than your mind. Your mind has two parts, the subconscious and the conscious part. The subconscious part of the mind is where all of your basic systems are run. It is a big computer system. Actually, it's a small computer system because it exists right in the back of your head in the amygdala part of the brain. This is where your emotional system is run, your respiratory system, your circulatory system, your nervous system, everything from your blinking function to doing simple tasks that you've done so many times that you don't have to think about them anymore, like being able to walk from one room to another, being able to wash dishes. It is a supercomputer and it learns fast because you used to have to really think about how to walk, but your subconscious mind now picked it up. So you can walk and chew gum and talk on the phone now. Why? Because your subconscious mind is running the majority of those functions. So you only have to focus on talking on the phone, the conversation. So what is you? Well, you have your conscious mind, which is a separate part of what's happening inside of your brain. Your conscious mind takes a little longer to come on to functions. So for instance, your subconscious mind will react within 1/12 of a second. Your subconscious mind reacts in 1/12 of a second. Your conscious mind takes a few seconds to boot up. But once it's there, this is where you actually exist. You are the consciousness. You are the observer. You have the ability to actually go in and observe your own thoughts. This is incredible. You are aware of your existence and can use your free will to get up and do virtually anything physically possible that you put your mind to. The problem is people don't put their mind to what they want to do they? In reality, people tend to leave their mind on whatever happened to them in the past. People tend to leave their mind on the programs that their abusive mother gave them or their abusive father gave them. People tend to allow their minds to be influenced by the media. People tend to remember how it was being bullied by their siblings or by people at school. People tend to feel small because other people told them they were. People tend to feel unworthy because they're comparing themselves to others. People tend to focus on the negative because they want to protect themselves. So they don't set their mind to what they want to do. But if you do this, it's all disordered because your subconscious mind, making 90% of the decisions in your life, will lead you to just do what it already knows how to do. And if you just do what you already do, then you will not get anything more than what you already have. That is just a fact. Some say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But is that really true? Even if you're up in age, your brain still has neuroplasticity, which just means that the tissues can be reformed so that your brain can be transformed, so that you can actually get transported to a new person. You can build a new personality for yourself. And it would be to your advantage. But it's not too late because you have to think about Stan Lee. He focused his mind, he put his mind to creating the Marvel universe. You have to think of Vera Wang. She focused her mind to creating a fashion line for herself. You have to think of Julia Child. She focused her mind to writing her own cookbook. You have to think of Ray Kroc. He focused his mind to turning McDonald's into a global franchise. You have to think of Henry Ford, who focused his mind on creating what we know as the first car. You have to think of Sam Walton, who created Walmart. You have to think of Lucille Ball, who got her first break around the same age that Mark Twain wrote his book. In fact, all of the people I just mentioned did everything you know them for after the age of 40. Is it too late for you to set your mind to what you want to do? No. It's too late for you to keep making excuses. Now is the opportune time. We have an opportunity right now in this moment to change course. And by making a small change here, it can lead to a very different outcome than if we stay on the track that we're currently headed. Allowing your subconscious to make 95% of your decisions is a mistake. You, as the conscious self, are designed to lead. You, as the conscious self, are designed to lead. In Hindu tradition, a person, when they become actualized, gets to a state of nirvana and is actually meant to be a god. In Christian teachings, God said, let's make man in our image. You are designed to be in the image of something more than just this terrestrial creature that you see in the mirror. Your subconscious mind is a terrestrial brain. It is there to serve you, just like your body. But you have a sense of being a rider in an avatar, do you not? Because you know that your body is not you. Maybe it's a part of you, but it's more of a tool, something you use. Your mind is a tool, something you can use. The subconscious mind is a gift for you. Do you know how it works? You spend time to learn the iPhone. You spend time to learn how to use the new gadget, the tablet, the laptop computer. Do you spend time to learn how to use your mind, which scientists say is better than any supercomputer on Earth? The mind, the subconscious mind, is able to run the digestive system, the circulatory system, the nervous system, your emotions, do it all simultaneously while helping you to complete a task that you don't have to think about. This computer is unlike anything else that exists in the universe. I'm going to show you how to tap into it right now. Scientists call this mind the animal brain. They say that back here in the amygdala, that supercomputer that's running everything is an animal brain. I like that analogy to a degree, because when you call it the animal brain, you realize why it's not always so smart in making decisions. It exists on programs like an animal. The animals that you see running around in the world, they are all on a program. They're instincts. That's what they go by. They're guided by instincts. They will choose food over a relationship with you any day. They will choose sleep over religion any day. Animals are run by their programs. We are not supposed to be just run by our programs. The programs are there to run for us, not us to be run by the programs. So you cannot allow your brain to be the boss of you. You cannot allow your subconscious mind to be the boss of you. You have to be the boss of it. Does that make sense? It is an animal brain, so you would not allow your dog to be the head of the household. That's disordered. You have to be the master over your pets. You have to be the master over your dog. To learn how to train the subconscious mind, we can look at how master trainers train their dogs. My favorite dog trainer by far is Cesar Millan. I don't know if you know him. He goes by the name The Dog Whisperer on National Geographic. I don't know if that show is on anymore. But Cesar Millan is a whiz when it comes to training dogs. And here is his secret. He will tell you in every single episode, and study it, because how dog trainers are able to train animals is how we can train our subconscious mind. In every single episode, He will tell you, you have to be the leader of the pack. You have to be the leader over the dog. You are not the dog's friend. You are not the dog's just family member. You are the leader. The dog will submit to you if you posture yourself as the leader, if you use authority in your voice and calm assertiveness. You don't have to be mean to the dog. You just have to be assertive. And every time you see him walk into a room and the dog is going crazy before he walks in, and he walks in and the dog just relaxes, looks right at him, and he just does a, and the dog, whatever he wants the dog to do, he's got the dog hopping. Why? Because he knows how to be calm, assertive. Dog training does not require you to be mean to the dog. It does not require you to over reward the dog. You just have to have consistency and patience. Likewise, you can train your subconscious mind with consistency and patience. It is that simple. Have you seen a dog that's not well trained? Do you enjoy being around that dog? Absolutely not. A dog that's not well trained, you will notice, has emotional issues. It's either too aggressive, or it's too happy and excited and just out of control. So whatever the case, a dog that's not well trained does not feel emotionally sound and healthy. Likewise, your subconscious mind, when it's untrained, you're allowing it to run amok. It's running you. You're feeling the feelings of anxiety and you're saying, oh my God, this anxiety. What do I do? Let me just go wash the dishes. Let me bury myself into my work. Let me just run from this feeling of anxiety because I don't want to feel it anymore. Oh, this depression is so bad. Let me just lay here in bed. When you learn to control your subconscious mind, you do not allow that conscious mind to get out of order, and your emotional disorders come back into alignment. I am speaking from experience. Your emotional disorders come into alignment when you learn to organize and control the subconscious mind by leading it. You are designed to be the leader. Here's why. You are designed with compassion. That's a good leadership quality. That's you. Subconscious mind doesn't have it to your level. You are designed with power. You are designed with knowledge and understanding. You are designed with an understanding of morals and justice. This allows you to be the perfect decision maker. You ever make a decision, do something, and you say, I knew I shouldn't have done that? That is literally the definition of foolishness. When you do something you knew you shouldn't have done, and you say it to yourself, you say, I was so stupid because I knew I shouldn't have done that. That is foolishness, because the definition of intelligence in the dictionary is to apply what you know, meaning to do what you know is right. If you know something is right, then that is what you are supposed to do. You have the ability to do that. Your subconscious mind will just do what you tell it to do. The subconscious mind does not know if the past, the memories you're thinking, the present that you're observing through your eyes, or your visions of the future is the actual reality. I will repeat, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between your past memories, your current present reality, and your visions of the future. Even a dream, the subconscious mind thinks it's real. That's why when you wake up, you feel like that dream was real because all these emotions are real. Yes, because the subconscious mind doesn't know that the dream you were just experiencing is not actually reality. The subconscious mind will give you all of the chemicals that are needed to produce the emotions. And that's how the subconscious mind works. Based on where you're focusing, the subconscious mind says, oh, bad memories. Okay, we're in a bad reality. So let's give it a concoction of cortisol and adrenaline. There we go. These are the proper chemicals to give him or her for dealing with a bad reality. If you live in the past, thinking and ruminating over what happened, what happened, what happened, your health will diminish because you are putting yourself into a state of chemical imbalance. And you can take a pill for your chemical imbalance, but it only works 50% of the time for 50% of the people, which is the same effectiveness as a placebo. But you know what works 100% of the time? Getting your thoughts in order and you being the leader instead of allowing your subconscious mind to decide what's the reality it's going to focus on. Instead of ruminating on your thoughts from the past, you should bring your mind out of the past into the present, and you should create a glorious vision of the future. Some of you do live in the future, but you're living in a terrible vision of the future. Oh my goodness, what if this happens? Oh my God, what if I don't pay my bill on time? What if I get in trouble? What if I get arrested? What if that guy comes here? What if I get robbed? And you're thinking of all of these bad things, and guess what happens? Your subconscious mind thinks that's the reality. So it says, okay, here's some adrenaline, here's some cortisol, go. And you're, whoa, oh my God. Oh, I got so much anxiety. What do I do? What do I do? Stop thinking of all of the bad that can happen. Stop ruminating on visions of a terrible future. That's all hypothetical. It's not even real. It's distorted thinking. You, as the intelligent self, need not run from the pain. The pain is just letting you know that something is wrong. You make the change to what's wrong. The thinking. The conscious self decides what to focus on. When you're not paying attention, subconscious will go off and do what it normally does. So if you normally think about all the bad memories of the past, when you're not paying attention, your subconscious mind will go there, and then it'll produce emotions. But when you feel that pain, that's your signal to snap into action and say, hey, just like you would with the dog, no, we're not going to think about that. When your mind starts thinking of all the terrible things that could possibly happen in the future, no, I'm not going to think about that. We're right here, right now. We're in this present. You know what we're going to think about? Instead of all the bad things that can happen, we're going to think about all the things we are grateful for. Wow, I'm so grateful that I'm alive right now. I'm so grateful that I have this beautiful skin. I'm so grateful I have this nice sweater. I'm so grateful that I have this lamp. What's so great that I have this television? You know what's really great? And when you start putting yourself into a focus of gratitude, two things happen. Number one, your subconscious mind starts taking notes, and you're creating a pathway in the brain that subconscious mind may later learn to go to automatically, producing positive emotions, which is the second thing. The subconscious mind now sees that as the reality, so it cooks up a new concoction of chemicals. And guess what the chemicals for gratitude are? Serotonin, all the really good feeling chemicals are now flowing through your blood. And you go, oh, I feel all right. I feel all right now. You know what I want to do? Now you're in a state of creativity. Now you're in a state of empowerment. The moment that you decide, I'm going to think about something good, gratitude, and you focus your mind on that, you give it a moment, and your subconscious will cook up the chemicals and give them to you, the good ones. And when you're in a good state, you are now balanced. This is where we're designed to be, in a state of higher consciousness, creativity, intelligence. Now you're ready to learn. Now you're ready to build. Now you're ready to create. Now you're ready to dream. We have to get out of the nightmare and into the dream. After all, if you're going to spend your entire life in your mind, you might as well make it a wonderful place. So you need to build for yourself in your mind castles, cities. Your mind needs to have a glorious vision of your future. This is a technique that I have used for my entire life. When I go to bed every single night, I just think about, on purpose, The last thing I think about before I go to sleep is my glorious future. And oh man, it's wonderful. I can envision the people that are there, who's going to be with me, who's by my side, what we are doing, how good it is, how smooth it's running. And every morning when I wake up, I'm thinking about that glorious future, but now I'm putting it into action. So instead of getting up and just, oh, I got to put out the fires. No. I need to build a house. When I wake up, now it's time to put this vision of this glorious future into action. That's the process that I used when I was a teenager and I went out for the play. And the teachers told me, and the students told me, hey, you're a freshman. This is the play director's last show. They're only casting upperclassmen. And I said, okay. And I went to the audition anyway. And the people at the audition are like, hey, aren't you a freshman? Hey, you're probably not going to get in because the teacher, they're only casting upperclassmen. And I said, okay. And I went up there and I got on stage and I gave them a performance that was so intense that they knocked out an upperclassman and put me in the show in their place. Why did they do that? How did that happen? Those people, everyone around me who said, oh, it's not going to work. Don't do it. Don't go for it. If I would have listened to them, I wouldn't have accomplished my dream. But I have been envisioning the vision for my future because I knew I wanted to be an actor at the age of 7. And so I became an actor by envisioning from my childhood, every single night, me on stage acting. And every single day I would get up and I would get my camcorder and I would set it up. We didn't have them on our phones back then. We had to buy the camcorder for $500. I begged my parents to get me this camcorder. I said, there is nothing else that I want. This is the only thing that I want. And I set up my camcorder and I would act in front of that camcorder every single day. I would do impressions. I would do voices. I was an actor. And then I became a director. So then I started directing movies, all featuring my brother and my action figures. This was my life already. So when I walked in there, they didn't think anything of me. They just saw a freshman, but they didn't know I've been acting for 10 years at 14 years old. So by the time I got on stage and I did that performance, they were blown away, but this is what I expected because I already lived this reality. And so I conquered that and I moved on in my life. And when I grew up, I started businesses and I used the same principle. Because, hey, look, I just wanted to make money, but I didn't want to be working all the time with this 9-to-5 schedule. It's too constrictive because I want to be able to wake up when I want to wake up. That was just how I felt. There's nothing wrong with working the job. That's just how I felt. So I said, I have to start my own businesses, but I had this vision. I always went to bed with the vision. So even when I was failing, that present reality of the failure, that was not any more of a reality than this vision of the future. I live in the future. And just to give you an example, over the past 10 years, utilizing this, I made my own feature film with an entire cast and crew of 100 people. I released my own album. I started and sold 3 businesses, companies that I built from the ground up. I moved to South America and had a mini retirement for 4 years where my wife and I didn't work for any money, but just volunteered doing life coaching and ministerial work and helping people to learn how to read and fix their domestic problems and building places of worship. And we didn't just travel to South America. I don't remember all the countries, but when we wanted to go to Asia, we had the vision and we went to Asia. And when we wanted to go to India, we had the vision and we went to India. And when we wanted to learn how to fala português, nós tem vision, and we went and learned how to speak Portuguese. Whatever it was we wanted to do, we just envision it. We live in the future, and then you can achieve those things because you've programmed the subconscious mind to constantly be looking for it. Constantly. The subconscious mind doesn't stop. When you're sleeping, the subconscious mind is still running. What is it working on? Well, you have to decide what you teach the subconscious mind to work on. It can just sit around working on depression and anxiety. It knows how to do that. You have to train it. How? Be the boss. You're in charge. You decide what you're going to focus on. You just simply tell it what you need. You tell it what you want it to do. No, we're not going to think about that. We're going to think about this. I'm in charge. When you're in charge, you can do anything. And what you find when you achieve your dreams is you need to keep dreaming, because now you've achieved the dream. You have to think of new dreams, but you need to be in a state of creativity. You need to free your mind from the confines of the so-called present reality and the ruminating on the past. You have to free your mind by taking it into the depths of the mind. This is where scientists say it's in infinite. The depths of the mind are infinite. If you took the recording of the mind and you just recorded movies with the mind, those movies would play for 300 years before the mind would run out of space, according to scientific study. And some scientists think that even that is minuscule compared to what the brain can really do. This is an unlimited capacity. You need to tap into it. It has the power and the ability to create, to problem solve, and it's still working while you're sleeping. But are you in charge? So what's stopping you? Some people say that that they're afraid to feel like an imposter. Well, I can't go out there and do that and get started with something new that I've never done before because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, guess what? I probably felt like an imposter when I walked down my movie set and said, "Hi, everyone, I'm the director of this movie." And I had never directed and written a film before that was on that scale. But guess what? By the second day, I was actually a director because I had 1 day experience as a director. And then there was the third day and the fourth day, and we continued until I finished the movie. And now it's on Amazon. You can go and rent it. You have to be willing to be the fool if you want to be a master. You have to be willing to be an imposter if you want to be the real thing. It's a temporary state. When you bought your house, the first time you walked into that house, you walked in as a guest. And then you became an owner. You don't walk in as the owner. Everything in life is like that. You start out as an imposter, but scientists have found that if you fake it till you make it, it actually works. As annoying as it is, through 138 studies, they found that if you are sad and you just fake like you're happy and smile, it makes you happier. How totally dumb is that? It's too simple. It is too simple. But why does it work? Because everything is wired together to the circuits of the mind. The feelings are chemicals that are coming to the mind. If you tell the mind, "I am happy," the mind says, "Okay," and it gives you happy chemicals. Is it that simple? Yes, unfortunately it is. Does it take effort and work? Just like training a dog, consistency, patience. You don't need to be mean. You don't need to be abusive. Stop verbally abusing yourself. Stop saying, "Stupid, I'm so dumb." Stop that. You don't talk to a child like that. You don't talk to a dog like that. You don't talk to other human beings like that. You don't have the moral right to be abusive to yourself. Stop neglecting yourself. Stop not giving yourself what you need. You don't have the right to neglect other humans. You don't have the right to neglect yourself. In fact, even more so with yourself, because we've all decided that you're in charge of you. So stop abusing and neglecting yourself. The reality is everything in this universe works on compound interest. It's called the Pareto distribution law. This means that 80% of your pain comes from 20% of your problems. This means that 90% of the world's wealth is held by 10% of the people. The other 90% of the people are all fighting for the last 10% of the scraps. This means that when Jesus said, He who has more, more will be given, and he who has less, what he has will be taken away from him. That was a scientific fact, because when you have more, like when Lil Wayne went and he went to perform in a foreign country and he got off the plane, the ruler of the country said, you can walk right through customs. You don't even need to get checked because you're Lil Wayne. In fact, after you perform, you come to my palace. So Lil Wayne is sitting in a palace and the ruler comes up to him and says, Ferrari or Lamborghini? And he's like, oh, Lamborghini. He just thought he was asking, what's your favorite car? Then he says to him, black or red? Lil Wayne realizes this man means he is buying him a Lamborghini. So Lil Wayne got a free Lamborghini. Why did he get a free Lamborghini? Why don't I get a free Lamborghini? Why doesn't the people who don't have cars get free Lamborghinis? You know why? Because he who has more, more will be given. He's already rich. He's already talented. He already has a following. So now he also gets a free Lamborghini. Meanwhile, if you don't have the money to pay your parking ticket here in the city of Chicago, they will put a boot on your car, which means that they immobilize it so you can't move the car. If you can't move the car, then it gets towed in 24 hours. So you have to pay to get the boot taken off, but you couldn't afford the ticket. When they tow the car, now you have to pay for the boot removal and the tow fee. And then they impound your car, which means you have to pay for storage, the tow fee, the boot removal, and the tickets you couldn't pay in the first place. And you know what they do when you can't pay to get your car out? They destroy it. They take it to a junkyard and they destroy your car. Why? Because he who has less, even what he has will be taken away from him. So how do we break the cycle? You have to fake it until you make it. You need to act like you have something. And then everything will start getting added. Everything compounds on top of what you already have. That's how it works. When you live in pain, fear, and anxiety, the chemicals erode your immune system. When your immune system gets eroded, now you're open to pathogens. So now you're already mentally ill, but now you're physically ill on top of it. That's why those who are dealing with anxiety and depression are more likely to have more medical conditions as well. Because now that you don't have your mental health, even your physical health will get taken away from you. That is the way the universe works. So make a change right now. You decide right now that you will not allow what you have, your mind, to be taken away from you. It is within your control. It is within your power to decide, I will be healthy. I will be organized. I will be in charge. And when you do that, you will get the positive emotions that will lead to you feeling good. When you feel good, you will do good. When you do good, it will compound itself and you will achieve your dreams if you create for yourself a glorious, wonderful vision of the future and focus on it. Thank you for coming tonight, guys.
Thank you, Roman. That was wonderful. Wow. Very nice.
You're welcome. Feel free to reach out if you guys need any help.
Thank you so much. Will do. Wow. How often do you do the Motivational Mondays? This is my first time seeing it. You're muted, Roman.
Sorry, it'll be every Monday from now on.
Nice. I will save the date. Awesome.
Thank you guys for
very
coming.
Accomplished. I had no idea about your background. Thank you for sharing. And I just feel so blessed to have been here. So good to be here. And thank you so much again.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, just text me if you want a copy of the recording.
Text you through the meetup? You're muted again.
Sorry, keep muted.
No worries.
You can hit me through Meetup if you don't have my my phone number, and I'll give you my phone number if you want it.
Okay.
And yeah, anything you need, if you guys need help with anything, if you guys need to get connected to a therapist that'll help you with the thinking, whatever you need, just let me know. I'm here for you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. It's good to see everyone. Very thankful for you, Roman, and for each of you for coming. Thank you.
Same. Have a good night.
You as well. Be well, everyone. Take care.
Take care.
Mhm.